Hey everyone, have I here bring a video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, we're going to be going over the Extreme Z Awakenings for the type support units, and then also discuss which ones you should be targeting or not targeting if you're going to be summoning on these banners. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So yes, of course, all this information dropped last night for the data download. Unfortunately, I just didn't have time as usual to make these videos in a timely manner, but I still wanted to go over them, so let's go ahead and dive in. So of course, we have the schedule here. We also know that we're going to get another world tournament in about a week from now, so we get to look forward to doing that. But these are the ones that we're going to be focusing on in this video here, the type support units that are going to be dropping on 4/11, basically a day from when I'm recording this video here. And it's important to just understand where these units are going to fit for you as a player. If you're free to play, low to play, it's going to be a very, very tough decision, because are these 100% needed on your team? No, but again, being support units, they could be very valuable in certain situations. So I'm going to go over each one of these, but in a little different way, because basically each one of these have the same passive. It's just a different type or class boost, but the rest of the passive is going to be the same, but it's the super attacks that's going to be different here. So I'll just go ahead and open up Gohan here first. And so the two things I'll just quickly at least go over: the leader skill here, which is important as well. So the leader skill is probably the best mono leader skill that you can have right now at a 150%, right? This is super type, physical type in this case, 150%. And then every single one of these units are basically the class and the typing at 150% and key +4 as well. So these are going to be also, you can call these battlefield gods as well, or battlefield leads, because these are going to be the best units you're going to want to run on battlefield, making it a lot easier for you to develop a mono team, right? So the thing here is, again, the passive skill is going to be exactly the same on everybody. It's just, again, the type and class is going to be different. So this is why we can call these 60% support units now, because this is going to be physical type, so it doesn't have to be super class, but any of those typings, they're going to get a key +3 and attack and defense 10%, and then you're going to get additional attack and defense 50% for the super, in this case, physical type here. So huge benefit there. But also on top of that, this also does orb changing, so this is great. And then it's these units are nuking units, and then on top of that is you're going to get an additional crit chance, and then attack and defense, of course, being that it is going to be a nuking type unit, right? So, and then changes all key spheres, all key spheres to physical key spheres when 50% is less when there's 2 or more superclass allies on the team. So this is interesting there too. You can actually clear or change the entire board once only. So that's really a really fun situation if you can ever capture that situation. Especially maybe in the beginning of a fight, right? Maybe nuke a situation or nuke an enemy, and then on top of that, you do have guard against all attacks for 4 turns from the character's entry turn. And if there's another 3 or more physical type allies on the team, you're able to get this guarding ability. That 4 turns a little low. I really wish they would have done like at least 6 turns on this, but 4 turns a little bit low. So it's going to be, these units are pretty decent, but when the guard does disappear, you are susceptible at that point in time. So so again, all the passives are going to be basically the same. It's just going to be on the type and the class. So what we're going to go over for the remainder of the units here are the SAs, and greatly raises attack, and that's the stacks here, and then a high chance of stunning an enemy. That's going to be the Gohan. So not all that usable. So actually, yeah, let me just go one by one here. So this is the Boo. This is raises attack defense for 1 turn, and then recovers 20% HP. Again, not all that beneficial. Let's go then to Realo. Realo greatly raises attack and defense 1 turn. This one has a little bit better benefit because it lowers attack and defense and seals. So if you're doing maybe like a Super Battle Road or something like that, this could be a very, very beneficial situation. So, you know, there's I think a little bit more benefit here than maybe, you know, the recover 20% HP is nice. But I do like these in certain situations, right? So for the first one that's going to be like highly regarded, right, is going to be Pan. So Pan has the ability to basically like support even more, right? Because if you're going to use this unit here, you can raise his allies' attack and defense by 30% for 2 turns. This 2 turns is very important because you know, you can continuously have this up. And you also have the passive skill up as well, so technically you're going to be, you know, closer to that 90% buff. But remember, the attack boost here is not the passive; it's going to be on the SA multiplier. But the defense, basically you can, you know, give your allies that are super AGL type, you know, 90%, so it's pretty awesome. However, of course, again, when this falls off, you might be in, you know, in a rough spot, but that is very, very strong as one of these units here that's very usable, or more usable than the other ones that we just saw. So but this guy right here, so we open up Kabal. Kabal's probably the one that everybody would say is going to be the most sought after because of its ability to kind of mini stack attack and defense. So this helps out when this falls off here. The guard here falls off, and again it gets, you know, you can get stronger and stronger and stronger because 9 turns is a long time. You're basically, you know, stacking for yourself over a long period of time there. So yeah, it's weird that they provided 9 turns on there, but very strong here. And of course, this unit being that it's STR, and we know that Beast Gohan STR, a lot of other great units are STR as well, this becomes a very, very valuable support for that typing. So I think this is one of the ones that you do want to target, because seemingly I think most people would say this one's like the better of the bunch, right? So now Hit unfortunately didn't get that same super attack. It got greatly raises defense, which is still good, right? I think it's solid because it stacks. However, the problem here with Hit is he's STR, and there's really not much STR extreme class units right now that are like super top tier, right? So so the value isn't as high, but still it's because it greatly raises defense and it stacks. It does have, you know, probably a much better benefit than even Kabal here, because well, they're both 50%, right? They're both 50%. So, but this is also attack, and again, it's 9 turns. It's not fully stacking, but still, it's pretty much fully stacking 9 turns in of itself. So at least they both can increase defense, which makes it a lot easier for a longer content, because once this falls off again, you are susceptible. So let's go ahead and move on to then Tien. Oops. So Tien here is greatly raises attack by only for 1 turn, and then greatly lowers your attack and defense. So, you know, not all that valuable there. And then you have Cell, the second form of Cell here, greatly raises defense for 1 turn, lowers attack and defense. So again, not all that beneficial. Then I would say the other one that is going to be useful, right, is Gohan. So Gohan has the same, raises attack and defense by 50% for 9 turns like Kabal. But again, I think there's more units that Kabal can be really beneficial for. But again, Gohan, he's going to be beneficial for you know, a lot of good units as well, but just not as the super top tier, generally speaking, for now. But you know, certain units like you know, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, you can still even use it on for like a Goku's Family's team. I'm trying to think of anything else that's like high-end int units. But if we do get a Saiyan or Hybrid Saiyan int unit that is top tier, then this unit's going to be, then I think, a lot more valuable. So So I guess stay tuned. But again, this is one of the units that you wanna pick up. So and then finally Vegeta here. Unfortunately, Vegeta always getting shafted there. Does stack attack, but you know, has a high chance of stunning the enemy. Again, you know, probably better for Super Battle Road, and that's the entire grouping there. So should you summon for these units here? Well, there is going to be some level of value when you summon on these banners here. So on JP, we had 2 multis discounted at 30 Dragon Stones, and it guarantees one of the type support units, the Extreme or the Super class. So there is being guaranteed some high value there. So if in order for you to, you know, probably maximize what you want to do, you want to figure out, okay, which units or which banners should I even attempt? I would say without a doubt the STR banner you should be summoning on. You should just go ahead and use the 60 Dragon Stones and try to either get Kaba or Hit, because I think both of them are, you know, are at least somewhat valuable. Hit, you know, less valuable currently right now, but in the future he could be a lot more valuable. But having a guarantee on that. So I would say if you were to pick a banner and you're like, okay, I just want to summon on one and have the 2 30 Dragon Stones multi-summons, the STR is probably your first choice. The next choice is, I would say, probably the AGL one for the Pan, and then the Int one. So the Int and AGL one are probably the other 2 that you want to possibly summon for. And if you're not fully collecting and you just you know, just want to, you know, target the ones that are going to be useful for you at this point in time, then stay away from tech and physical. I think neither of those would be going to be hugely beneficial. But I guess if you want to boost for Buhan when you EZAs, then, you know, the Boo is going to be that physical support there for LR Buhan. And then if you need another, you want to run a mono team with the Tech Zamasu, then the second form Cell might be a little bit valuable there. So if I were to rank these, it looks something like this. I'm sorry, Hit was supposed to be over here. So if I were to rank these on, you know, the units you should be kind of targeting for, I would say Kaba and Gohan are the 2 that are going to be, I'd say, currently more valuable than the rest. Then I would say Pan and then Hit. So those 4, if you can capture all 4 of those, you'll be in pretty good shape, because at least those are somewhat usable in various different situations. But you know, Pan with that extra support is pretty nice. Hit being able to stack defense, but as of right now, you don't really have too many, you know, top tier extreme STRs. But in the future, maybe. But of course, Kaba for sure is number 1 on the list, and then I think Gohan can be pretty valuable there too. So, and then the rest, yeah, they're kind of the 3rd tier there. You know, I think I'll say, you know, a lot less valuable. These aren't really in order either, but you know, Broly is going to be, you know, extreme AGL. Gogeta is going to be super physical. So there might be a little bit additional value here when the 9th anniversary comes out, but you're generally not going to run that unit on that team. But again, you can run all these on Battlefield, right? So all these are valuable enough to be Battlefield leaders. So that's the value that you're going to have for these units, for all these units, right? So anyway, that's my thoughts there, and that's going to, in a sense, you know, rank these. I think you just go ahead and spend the 60 Dragon Stones and at least try to get Kaba on here. But the rest, I would say, your prerogative on here. If you want to spend all 300 Dragon Stones, because that's what it would cost for the 2 multis at 30 Dragon Stones on all the banners here, that'll be 300 Dragon Stones. Or you might just go, you know, the Int, the STR, and the AGL. So you're talking, what is that? 60, 60, and 60. That's 180 Dragon Stones, right? So, so you can go that route as well. But I think 60 Dragon Stones for sure on the STR. So anyway, I'm just rambling on here, but if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching. Keep on Dokkaning, and we'll catch you next time. Later.